Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of RawRadiantHealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today's Wednesday, and today I want to answer a few questions regarding women's periods, women's menstrual cycles. Here and there I get questions asking me, if there's a concern with either like someone gets onto a raw food diet or they're doing juice fasting, things like that, and suddenly their period might come early, or they might skip a period or two. And is this something to be concerned about? Should they go and see their doctor or a natural health care practitioner? What should they do? So I kind of want to answer some of these questions that I get, but the first thing I want to just mention is that I'm not a doctor, and if there is concern, do go and see your doctor, go and see your natural health care practitioner, go and see who you go and see, and also too, these questions I get are general questions, and I can only give you general answers. If someone's my client and I know what they're eating and I know their complete medical history, all of that, then I'm able to sort of direct people. But when I'm just getting emails from people that are very, very general, and these video blogs are my general responses and general tips I can give you, okay? So I just want to be clear on that as well. Now, first thing, okay, if someone is suddenly getting an irregular period, let's say it starts coming earlier than normal or later than regular, there's different things that can be causing this, okay? But I want to just reassure everyone that whenever you have any kind of lifestyle change, whether it's a change of diet, whether it's a change of job, sleeping patterns, stress levels, relationships, all these things, women are sensitive that it can affect your period. A lot of times it can disrupt your period and suddenly you skip it, or it comes early, or it's heavier than normal. These things do happen, and a lot of times it's because your body's trying to get back onto balance. Our menstrual period is a cycle, it's a rhythm, and it loves consistency. So if things do suddenly change, like your eating habits change, it's going to affect it. So, and not everyone, okay, but it does affect some people. And there isn't really anything to be concerned with unless it's going on for the long term, okay? Like if someone just suddenly skips one period and then suddenly it's back to normal, then there's nothing to be concerned with, or it comes early once in a while. That's not to be too alarmed about. But when, let's say your period stops for 3-6 months or more, then you should be going to see a doctor. You should go and get some tests done, see a natural health care practitioner, and see what's going on. Okay, there's many reasons why this can happen as well. It can happen because of stress, because of lifestyle changes. These things disrupt our period. But there can also be underlying medical or health issues. Okay, there can be hormone imbalances. There can be polycystic ovarian syndrome. There can be issues of being too underweight or issues of being too overweight, which both affect your fertility. Okay. Then there's also fertility issues. It could be you're pregnant. It could be many, many reasons why someone's period stops. So the main thing is to first assess your own situation and to see, how you feel, and go and see a doctor and get some tests done just to get at the root of it. So, but if it's just like one period or 2 periods or even 3 periods, it's not something to be too scared about. But do look at your eating habits. Like, I see this a lot, and it's my biggest concern is that when people are cutting out food groups, especially when people cut out fats, okay, women don't realize that healthy fats are hormone precursors. That's what helps your body create hormones. So never ever cut out fats from your diet, and that means never cut out the avocados or the coconuts or oils or nuts and seeds. Those things are important. You don't want to be overdoing it, because even if you overdo it, that can also affect your fertility. A lot of women that are overweight, okay, if they lose 5 to 10 pounds, they can regain their fertility easily. I mean, it's amazing to see. But this also affects women that are underweight. If they gain a little bit of weight, they can get their fertility back into swing as well. So, you know, having a healthy weight is really important, and, you know, for your long-term health, because, you know, when your period, if it stops for, you know, a few months, a few years, that's an indication something's going wrong and your body is shutting down, you know. I once had a doctor explain to me this in a really, like, easy, nice, simple way, that it's kind of like, you know, if you're not at a healthy point, your body's not healthy, it's not gonna, you're not going to be able to reproduce. You know, naturally, we only reproduce when we're at a healthy point. And so if you're unhealthy, your body shuts down to protect itself from reproducing, okay, and to protect the species almost at the same time. So, you know, it's an indication if for the long term period stops, then there's some health issues that you need to address and take responsibility for. Okay? Now, I get this one question I get once in a while, and it's a strange question, is that there's some raw food advocates out there that say that it might actually be healthy for a woman's period to stop. I've heard this, okay, and I've received emails of people asking me what my opinion is on this, and one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of times this view comes from males for some reason. Okay, I've never heard it from a female raw food advocate, but I hear it from the male ones, that they say, oh, women's period stops, and it's a lot of times they say that it's because women are reabsorbing the lining of their uterus, and it's not affecting their fertility, and this might actually be a healthy thing. I 100% disagree. Okay, when a woman has their period, that's part of their cycle. That's part of their monthly hormone change, and it's monthly detoxification as well. When we have our period, we release the inner lining of our uterus. That is a healthy thing to do, to release that, and it releases toxins and all sorts of stuff, and it makes sure that our hormones are all balanced. And this is not something that if someone's period stops and they're just like, oh, it's a good thing. No, it's something. It's an indication that something's off balance. Okay, so I disagree with that view. Okay, I'll just be straight about that. And I've been also asked questions about a woman's period and the monthly moon cycle. And yes, I do believe that you can actually, and it's a healthy thing and a good thing, that your period becomes aligned with the moon cycle. And this is something that's really interesting, is that I've seen it with myself, is that I get my period at full moon and I ovulate at new moon, and that has to do with gravitational pulls and all sorts of stuff going on, and a lot of other women have said the same thing. So yes, I do believe that there is a correlation between a woman's menstrual cycle and the lunar cycle as well. Okay, and that's it. So those are the questions being answered, and I do want to mention as well that Q Mars did a video interview with me, I don't know, I'd say it's over a month ago, and do check that out. I'll put a link to his YouTube page. He's the Vibe Rider, and do go and check that out. And that's it. So I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!